So good morning everyone, my name is Gisela. So I am the first reporter of Group 5, which is lesson 5, and our topic is all about construction of apprentices. So first is, what are the general guidelines in choosing the appropriate test format? So this is the topic that assigned to me. So there are significant and communicating performance tasks and success indicators. So at the end of the lesson, you should be able to demonstrate your knowledge and skills and constructing traditional types of tests that are most applicable to a particular learning outcome. So mag-focus lang tayo sa traditional types of tests. So ito yung mga indicators na dapat ma-succeed after ng lesson or topic. So performance task is classifying test. So yung success indicators ng classifying test is identify the test format that is most appropriate for a particular learning outcome. So every time naman nagagawa tayo ng test, so yung mga instructor natin pag gumagawa ng mga test is nag-depende talaga sila kung ano dapat yung gusto nilang ma-achieve or ng mga bata. So yung learning outcomes naka-focus. So sa pangalawa is designing a test. So yung success indicators is create an assessment plan align with the desired learning outcomes or the DLOS and the teaching and learning activities. So pangatlo naman is constructing test items, and the success indicators is develop test items following the general guidelines for test construction of the different test format. So mag-proceed na tayo dito bago pala tayo mag-proceed is meron tayong prerequisite of this lesson. So the construction of both tests requires specific skills and experience. So pag nag-construct naman talaga ng mga tests is nag-require siya ng specific skills, which is mayroon yung mga instructor natin na meron silang mga skills na sa self nila ba, yung kasi di ba every time na gagawa tayo ng isang bagay which is mag-go-board result siya, is nagsisimula siya sa experience. So yung first is classroom assessment. So alam naman natin yung classroom assessment, ito yung mga assessment na ginagawa, di ba? Yung before, during, and after. So mayroong klase-klaseng classroom assessment, ito yung mga formative, summative, which is yung mga diagnostic, placement test, yung mga gano'n. So pag sinabing classroom assessment test pala is nakapokus lang sa formative and summative, ito yung ginagawa during, before, and after. So ang classroom assessment are integral parts of learners' learning. They do more than just measure learning. So they also inform the learners what needs to be learned and to what extent and how to learn them. So they also provide a financial feedback about their child's achievement of desired learning outcomes. So the school also get to benefit from classroom assessments because learners' best results can provide them evidence-based data that are useful for instructional planning and decision making. So dito sa classroom assessment is hindi lang siya magbabase or makakatulong sa mga estudyante para ma-measure yung knowledge and skills nila regarding sa class, kung hindi makakatulong din ito sa teacher and sa parents kung malalaman ng instructor kung ano dapat yung babaguhin niya or ano dapat yung idadagdag niya para mas matutunan or madagdagan yung skills ng mga learners. So sa parents naman, malalaman ng parents kung hanggang saan at hanggang saan at hanggang hanggang saan lang ba yung kaya ng kanilang mga anak. So, mag-proceed na tayo sa guidelines, general guidelines in choosing the appropriate test format. So, not every test is universally valid for every type of learning outcome. So, for example, if an intended outcome for a research method, one course is to design and produce a research study relevant to one's field of study. You cannot measure this outcome through a multiple choice test or a matching type test. So, tama naman talaga, di ba, na hindi lahat ng every type ng learning outcomes is hindi siya applicable sa lahat ng klase ng test. So, an example nga dito sa research method. So, makakatulong ba dito yung ma-retain nila yung learning outcomes dahil lang sa multiple choice test? Masusungan mo ba dito yung mga natutunan nila or kung hanggang saan yung kaya nilang gawin? Hindi Hindi kasi yung nababagay dito na test is yung essay, ganun. Kasi doon masusukat mo kung mayroon na sila nalalaman or natutunan doon sa ginagawa mo sa kanila. So, to guide you on choosing the appropriate test format and deciding fair and appropriate and challenging test, you should ask the following important questions. So, these are the important questions na dapat i-tanong para makapagawa ng appropriate test. So, first is what are the objectives or desired learning outcomes of the subject yung next lesson be assessed. So, ito yung first question na dapat matutunan i-apply sa ating sarili as a future teacher. Para what are the objectives or desired learning outcomes of the subject unit lesson being assessed? So ito yung first mong i-consider o itatanong na kung ano ba yung dapat na yung desired learning outcomes mo sa bawat subject o sa unit na or sa lesson na i-discuss kung ano yung i-assess mo sa kanila. So, deciding on what test format to use generally depends on your learning objectives or the desired learning outcomes of the subject, unit, or lesson. So, hindi naman ito bago sa inyo, di ba? Kasi gumagawa na rin kayo ng lesson plan. So, di ba pag gumagawa tayo ng lesson plan is nagdepende din yung learning outcomes, yung iniisip natin kung ano dapat yung matutunan or ma-achieve ng isang learners doon sa ituturo natin sa kanila. So, yung pangalawa is what level of thinking is to be assessed. Remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So, that's the cognitive level of the decision, master, instructional objectives, or DOLS. So, lahat pa rin ng ng assessment na gagawin mo is magdepende pa rin doon sa instructional objectives mo or learning objectives mo na ituturo mo sa mga estudyante. So, syempre, kung ang cognitive level pa is makakatulong ba yung sa paggawa ng question para mas madagdagan yung kaalaman ng learners mo, syempre, i-consider mo yun para mas matuto sila. So, the level of thinking to be assessed is also an important factor to consider. So, when designing your test, as this will guide you in choosing the appropriate test format. So, for example, if you intend to assess how much your learners are able to identify important concepts discussed in class. So, remembering, understanding, so ito yung mga i-consider mo kung naiintindihan ba nila. So, pipili ka selective response format such as multiple choice test will be appropriate. So, if you intend to assess how your students will be able to explain and apply another receiving a concept or framework learning class. So, applying and analyzing level. You will consider giving constructive response test format such as essay. So, pag sinabing constructive response test format, so ito yung sila yung magko-construct, sila yung gagawa ng sagot doon sa question. So, pag sinabi namang selected response, ito yung single answer na gagawin mo. Parang, like for example, is multiple choice, di ba? One answer lang, one single answer lang yung appropriate na sagot talaga doon sa question.
Apo.
So, yung number 3 is the test must or align with the courses ULS and the corresponding or learning activities. So, the assessment task should be aligned with the instructional activities and the DOLS. Thus, it is important that you are clear about what DOLS are to be addressed by your test and what course activities or tasks are to be implemented to achieve the DOLS. So, ito yung pangatlong question kung ano ba yung mag-match or align sa course or yung desired learning outcomes na gusto mong kalalabasan ng ay tinuro mo or naka-align ka doon sa itinuro mo sa mga learners mo. So, yung example nito, if you want learners to articulate and justify their standard ethical decision making and social responsibility practices in business, so yung desired learning outcomes, then an easy test and class debate are appropriate measures and tasks for their learning outcome. So, magdepende pa rin talaga yung pag-construct mo ng test or yung bibigay mo type test para lalabas yung desired learning outcomes mo para sa mga learners. So, yung multiple choice test may be used but only if you intend to assess learners' ability to recognize what is ethical versus unethical decision making practice. So, ayun nga, mag-ulit pa rin. So yung number 4 are the test items realistic to the students. So di ba lagi namang sinasabi sa atin ng ating instructor is dapat yung lesson natin is dapat applicable siya in real life situation. So dito mag-i-refer pa rin yung ano. So nakalagay nga yung test items pa is realistic to the students. Kasi pag realistic to the students yung ibibigay mong type test sa kanila is madali nilang i-apply sa sarili nila, mas madali nilang maintindihan. Hindi pa rin. So there are major categories and formats of traditional tests. So for the purpose of classroom assessment, traditional tests fall into two general categories. So yung first is selected response types, and which learners select the correct response from the given options. So ito nga yung example na yung single answer lang sa isang question, diba? Yung multiple choice or yung ano yun. So yung constructed response type naman sa general categories is in which the learners are asked to formulate their own answers. Yes, tama yung essay. So yung magde-develop dito is yung cognitive thinking, diba? Critical thinking. Kasi pag once na gumagawa tayo ng essay, diba, is nag-iisip tayo. So ayun, magde-develop yung critical thinking ng isang learners dito sa our response type. Constructed response type test. So, ayun na, na-explain ko naman yung selected response test, di ba? Na requires learners to choose the correct answer or best alternative from several choices. So, dito sa selected response test naman is, pwede rin ma-applicable dito yung yung situational, katulad ng ginagawa ni Sir Rina, di ba? Pag nagbibigay siya sa atin ng test is situational ha. So, pipili mo talaga yung best answers kasi isa lang yung pwede mong isagot doon sa question. So, multiple choice. Ito yung type ng selected response test. Yung first is multiple choice test. So, it is the most commonly used format in formal testing and typically concept of a state or problem. One correct or best alternative correct answers, or three or more correct or inferior alternative structures. So, di ba pa multiple choice is mayroong tayong pagpipilian ng ECD. So, mag-isa doon na tama at may tatlo doon na mali. So, dapat sabi nga na is choose the best answer. Choose the best correct answer. True or false or alternative response test. So, it generally consists of a statement exciting if the statement is true, accurate, correct, or false, inaccurate, or correct. So, familiar naman tayo lahat dito sa true or false, di ba? Kasi sa true or false is yung talaga kung parang situational din siya, pero dapat nakadepende pa rin siya doon sa lesson na i-discuss ng instructor or ng teacher. So, matching type test. So, ilong pa rin itong matching type test sa selected response kasi di ba, one question, one single answer. Kasi pag matching type, di ba, mayroon na limitation, yung comparison yung tamang sagot. So, mag-proceed tayo sa constructed response test. So, requires learners to apply answers to a given question or problem. So, this include short answer test. So, it consists of open-ended questions or incomplete sentences that require learners to create an answer for each item. So, which is typically a single word or short phrase. This includes the following types. So, ang short answer is emergent types. So, completion, identification, and meaning described. So, in conclusion, it consists of incomplete statements that require the learners to fill the blanks with the correct word or phrase. So, pwedeng papasok dito yung identification. Di ba pag completion, yung correct words yung isasagot mo doon sa sa ibinigay sa iyong sagot. Ay, ibinigay sa iyong sagot. So, sa identification naman, it consists of statements that require the learners to identify or recall the terms, concept, remote places, or events that are described. So, proceed sa being described, enumeration. So, enumeration requires the learners to list down the possible answers to the question. So, dito naman sa being described, siyempre kagana dito yung remembering, di ba? Kasi, pag once na mag-enumerate ka, di ba, magkapisabihin mo talaga kung ano yung part ng bilong doon sa binigay sa yung question. So, yung pangalawang type ng constructed written test is essay test. So, lagi familiar naman ito sa atin kasi paulit-ulit itong pinapagawa sa atin, di ba? Nagawa tayo ng essay test. Bibigyan tayo ng one single question tapos ang haba-haba ng sagot. Yes. So, dito madidevelop yung critical thinking ng isang learners. So, ulit. So, yun nga nakalagay, usually long ones with several paragraphs. Kasi pag sinabing essay, hindi lang siya magtatapos sa 1 or 2 paragraphs, kung hindi, marami talaga siya. Kasi parang doon, doon madidevelop yung critical, yung kumbaga pros and cons na iaanan mo doon sa easy na ibinigay sa'yo. So, problem solving test, so it consists of problems, questions that require learners to solve problems in quantitative or non-quantitative settings using knowledge and skills in mathematical concepts and procedures. So, and or other higher order thinking, order cognitive skills, so reasoning analysis. So, dito sa problem solving is papasok lahat dito yung ito yung critical thinking mo talaga kasi pag once na problem solving yung ibibigay sa di ba i-analyze mo yung number kung tama ba yung isasagot mo doon tapos syempre mag-reasoning ka kasi gagawin mo yung reason kumbaga kung ito yung gagawin ko parang iisipin mo siya kumbaga so yung magpa-process pa rin dito yung yung skills mo ng critical thinking. So that's all guys, thank you for listening.